And what we're going to try to do in the next 22 minutes is get our panelists here, who I'll introduce in a minute, to share their perspectives on what they're seeing today, but more importantly, what's going to happen over the next 5, 10, 15 years. Kunal, we're going to start with you. Kunal is, as all of you know, the founder and CEO of Cred. Kunal, you sold your last company, Freecharge, 2017. It's been, what, 3 + 4, 7 years. What's changed in the last 7 years? I gave some sense of what's changed in the last 20 years, but what's changed in the last 7 years? And also maybe in the course of that, just talk a little bit about what exactly is Cred? What do you guys do?
Actually, I'm curious, how many of you use Cred over here? Okay, not so bad. Decent market share. First of all, Rajan, I've been a veteran. I realized that the ecosystem, I'm reaching their parents' age. But the point is that these things are just changing so quickly. And we should all understand one thing, that no matter who we are, we always assume the next generation is absolutely messed up. We are going through this evolution. Coming to Cred, we were fortunate to build Freecharge before, understand how the ecosystem works. The biggest realization I had was that India's consumption is still very concentrated. When you talk about the $2,000 or $2,500 per capita income, if you take the top 25 million families and take them out, the per capita income drops quite dramatically. So when it comes to internet businesses, I would say 80–85% of all internet businesses kind of rely on these 20 million customers in some ways. And we just focus on these customers, and we found that if you can serve them with a very distinct focus, it's not like in the internet companies that you're focused only on 25–30 million customers. Internet's supposed to be this hundreds of millions of customers that you're supposed to be focusing on. We focus on these customer base. We make it easy for them to have good financial behavior. And because we attract a certain quality of customers, we makes it easy for banks, brands, merchants to come and cross-sell things on our platform. It's a simple business model for those who use it, and those who are not using it yet, this is a good time to download the app.
All right, great. Thank you, Kunal. Amrit is the co-founder and CEO of Zetwork. Amrit, you should talk a little bit about what Zetwork does. But in a country until very recently where manufacturing just wasn't a thing, right? Like if you go back 5 years, although we had Make in India, manufacturing really wasn't a thing. I think it's great to see India now having some very, very interesting, rapidly scaling manufacturing startups. So Amrit, tell the audience what Zetwork is, but then also talk a little bit about, how come we're seeing manufacturing startups today? What's happening in India today that's leading to sort of companies like yours emerging?
Yeah, so we started in 2018. We are essentially a platform business. We connect small factories with large industrial demand. Our customers essentially want to bring new products to market. Typically, the way they would do it is they would give the order to a large factory, and then those large factories would produce those goods. We created a new model where we partner with lots of small factories to give a similar output in terms of on-time deliveries, quality, etc. But by bringing a lot of new capacity online and introducing it to the marketplace, we are able to offer more choice to our customers and lead to better outcomes. And these are largely for industrial goods and consumer products. Going back to your question, I think, yeah, it's an interesting time to be a manufacturing-focused business. Like when we started 6 years back, I think Kunal mentioned this concept of ridicule. We were very ridiculed. Like, you guys look smart. Why are you spending your time on something so unsexy? I think what has fundamentally changed is, I think the public markets have paved the way in some shape or form. There is a lot of appreciation of new stories which are solving not just a Make in India problem, but really showcasing our abilities in the global markets. We have definitely seen evidence of that within our company as well. Like 1/3 of our revenue comes from the US. These are companies which used to buy from China before and are now buying product in India. So getting that flywheel, starting with the public markets, seeing maybe some examples in the private markets with us, probably is inspiring a new generation of entrepreneurs to tackle problems which traditionally seemed very hard. I think the VC axiom has always been that hardware is hard. Maybe you have more to say about that, but I think there's more examples today that yes, it is hard, but solvable.
Great, thank you, Amrit. Kapil, let's move to you. The first SaaS, which is software as a service unicorn in India, was Freshworks, 2018. Today we have close to 30 unicorns that are SaaS unicorns, right, building software from India for the world. But until Unicommerce went public, I think this idea that you can build software products, sell it to Indian customers, and build a large company was not a was not a thing. It's sort of like manufacturing wasn't a thing. It wasn't a thing. So Kapil, I think you and your team, huge kudos to you guys. You built Unicommerce, you took it public. So maybe for the group, just tell them a little bit about what does Unicommerce do, but then more importantly, what's happening with Indian enterprises. In fact, last night I was with an e-commerce company that I told them that I'm on this panel. I'm going to have you on it. They were quite excited. We were like, hey, we use Unicommerce. So talk a little bit about that.
Sure. Thanks, Rajan. It's a pleasure to be here. And I think, I hope each one of you here shops online, and when you're shopping online, the backend of that is powered by Unicommerce. So Unicommerce is India's largest e-commerce post-purchase enablement SaaS platform. We are processing nearly 25% of India's e-commerce volumes. So nearly 1 billion transactions get processed annually through our platform. When you're ordering online, you see the website.
1 billion transactions.
So when you're ordering online, you see the website on which you're placing your order, and you see the delivery boy that's coming to your doorstep. Whatever happens in between is getting powered through the software that we provide, which caters to various capabilities like order management, inventory management, warehouse management, all non-sexy things, but that's what is the backbone of whatever the smooth experience that you see while you're shopping online on Flipkart, Amazon, any brand website, or quick commerce. The backend of that from the brand side is getting powered on Unicommerce. We work with 3,600 plus brands and sellers across many categories: fashion, footwear, FMCG, pharma. Some of the notable names include Le Mama, the example that you took, Boat, Lenskart, many traditional brands like Imami, GNC, Fab India, etc. And we are able to work across sectors and scale. We took the company public, as Rajan mentioned, early this year, and we were the second most subscribed IPOs of 2024. But it was a great validation that you can build a SaaS company in India for Indian ecosystem and actually grow this to a large scale. In fact, our vision is to become a one-stop shop for e-commerce enablement. And in line with that, we've also recently acquired just this week a company called Shipway, which also gives us capabilities across the entire e-commerce value chain. So beyond just order, inventory management, warehouse management, we can now do courier aggregation, marketing automation. So it becomes a one-stop shop solution for all e-commerce brands and sellers.
Great, thank you, Kapil. And just so those of you that don't follow e-commerce, India's e-commerce GMV, gross merchandise value, is about $70 billion. Over the next 20 years, we should get to about 2 trillion, right? Because China's e-commerce market is around a little over 2 trillion. So, I think a lot of folks wonder why is it that Unicommerce trades at the multiples that you do, which is basically, you power pretty much every single e-commerce company in India. E-commerce goes from 70 billion to, call it 2 trillion, and there you go, right? That's sort of what you get. All right, let's now move to sort of scale of each of your companies, because I think a lot of folks, as Kunal said, used to ridicule startups. I think now it's kind of hard when you have a company like Zomato that trades at 27 billion a market cap. I want to talk a little bit about scale and how quickly companies are scaling. And Amrit, I'll start with you. Maybe to the extent you can, talk a little bit about the scale of Zetwork. And when was Zetwork founded?
2018, yeah.
2018. So Zetwork is basically 6 years into this company's journey. Talk a little bit about the scale that you're at and also what you're seeing, not just in India, but globally, on global appetite for Indian manufacturing.
Yeah, so last year we did close to 11,000 crores of revenue, of which 3,000 crores was exports. So we made in India and we exported. And yeah, those are numbers which we feel proud of. And I think the more interesting thing is we don't have a global comparable. So when this is something we learned from investors is, hey, are you the Uber of India? Are you the Zomato of India? And we often didn't have good answers to those. And the reason we didn't have answers to those is this is a very unique problem to India that we are solving. And when we started the business 6 years back, that was not very well understood by capital markets. I think somewhere along with our journey and few other companies, that is a big change we are seeing today. We are seeing, Zetwork of X or some variants of that. And the key message here is, I think, solving a unique problem which is unique to you is more important than solving, a similar problem which has been done in a different market. And that is where true value can sometimes come in a short span of time.
Got it, and thank you, Amrit. So I want all of you to notice this, right? Like, company was launched 6 years ago. It's got 11,000 crores of revenue, 3,000 crores of exports. and it's an N01 company. What we mean by that is it's unique when it started, right? Now there are other companies that are trying to replicate it. In fact, I was at Google for 8 years, and every single day somebody would ask me, what's the Google of India? Well, the Google of India is Google, but the cred of India is cred, and the cred of the world is cred. And so is Zetwork. And I think that's what you're seeing in the Indian ecosystem.